Good evening. One day, two videos. Two videos in one day. Um, I'm sick to death of this whole COVID thing. I've been sick to death of it for a long time. The government are liars, the mainstream media are liars. We all know it. So I did a bit of Googling. Now I tried to stay away from, newspaper articles and stuff, because we all know they're liars along with the BBC. In 2018, the total amount of deaths in the UK was 616,000. In 2000, it was 610,000. So really, you can see it's not varying very much. You're looking at about the 600,000 mark. Now, until week 46 of last year, and this came from an FOI request which I've seen, there were 529,928 deaths. Right, if you take that up to week 52, that requires 13,345 deaths a week to equal the 2000 figure, which was 610,000. Okay? There's a lot of figures here, so don't be surprised if I get a bit mixed up. Now, in 2018, the weekly deaths were 12,833. Right? Obviously, before we'd ever heard of COVID. So 13,345. I mean, if you're talking about 600,000 people, what's 500? Do you know what I mean? So let's assume we take the government figures as read, the ones that keep on bleating out in the BBC, etc., and so forth. The last one I heard was 106,000 deaths from COVID. Right? They may say within 28 days of a positive test, they may say involving COVID, but we all know the message they're trying to get across, don't we? So there's 106,000 deaths in 12 months, so let's say that's January to December last year. Right? That's 8,833 deaths a month from COVID. Now, to make that up, really to either of the 2018 or 2000 figures, that leaves 42,500 people who died from other causes. Right? So this great massive pandemic, this thing that's going to wipe out the entire human race, I don't know what the percentage of that is, but it's 8,833 against 42,500 people who died from other causes. I mean, this took me about half an hour just to Google different stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that's even assuming we take what the BBC and everyone else in the government is saying as read, which I don't believe is so. You can go and look at the NHS figures, whatever you want. But that's simply half an hour of Googling. Okay, so they're lacking slightly there, aren't they? Really? When 42,500 other people died from other causes. And they're trying to make out that we're all going to die. It goes back to what I said about Neil Ferguson suddenly changing his story the other week. These imminent 250,000 deaths was actually projected over 2 years. Stuff like that. The videos I've done recently. So it's... I mean, that FOI request is there. You know, someone asked how many people had died to date in 2020. That was to week 46. 529,928. 2018, 616,000. 2000, 610 in total. I mean, do the maths yourself. You've only got 6 weeks left there till you get to week 52. Do you know what I mean? Wow. It's just the lies, really. Are incredible. This is why you've all lost your jobs. This is why your businesses have failed. This is why you're all wearing face masks. This is why you can't stand within, what is it now, 16 feet of each other. This is why they're now talking about extending the lockdown to the summer. This is why the schools are still closed. There's no pandemic. I really don't know what's going on, but there's no pandemic.